types and shadows and all the light we cannot see. Etienne at times is a type and shadow of Christ. His name even means crown, which is a symbol of highest authority alluding to Christ, who is King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Etienne is also the professor. A professor is a teacher, and guess what the disciples called Jesus? Rabbi, which means teacher. Werner's life and his interactions with the professor, or Etienne, is a perfect parable of salvation. When Werner was younger and more innocent, he was able to listen to the professor and fuel his imagination, and be guided into light and truth. Like most children, their imaginations protect them even from homes rampant with abuse and addictions. This is like how when we are younger, it is easier to hear the leading of God in life. We have innocence and our lives ahead of us. But then, when Werner is forced to join the racist Nazi movement, he is beaten, bullied, his and his sister's lives are threatened, and he is ordered to do things he hates. His training and World War II starts, and he is not able to hear the professor anymore. This is how it becomes for many people. As they grow and experience life's traumas, they feel further and further from God. They feel they can't hear his voice anymore. Their innocence is stolen, and their lives fill with regrets and emptiness. But then, one day, he hears Marie on the same frequency as he heard the professor. Marie is like someone sharing the good news. They are on the same frequency with Holy Spirit, sharing truth even at the risk of their life. Here in America, we don't deal with that much, but for most Christians around the world, it is risky to share about Jesus. So, once again, Werner is able to hear the truth and good news, being reminded that darkness doesn't even last for 1 second when you turn on the light. He knows that she is sending coordinates to the Americans in code, but he doesn't care. He wants a world of love, light, and truth, not war. He no longer cares about following the commands of authorities of the world he has been subjected to. His passion and love for the truth causes him to fight for shortwave 1310, to stay hidden and protected. Werner's passion reminds me of the parables of Jesus told in Matthew 13. He said heaven's kingdom realm can be illustrated like this. A person discovered that there was hidden treasure in a field. Upon finding it, he hid it again. Because of uncovering such treasure, he was overjoyed and sold all that he possessed to buy the entire field, just so he could have the treasure. Heaven's kingdom realm is also like a jewel merchant in search of rare pearls. When he discovered one very precious and exquisite pearl, he immediately gave up all he had in exchange for it. Through Marie, Werner hears the truth once again, but this time the hearing leads him to a face-to-face meeting with the professor, akin to personal encounters with Jesus that leave individuals forever changed. Werner's recognition of Etienne's voice after years of audible silence symbolizes a profound reconnection that echoes Jesus' words in John 10, "My sheep know my voice." Then when the other members of the resistance come to interrogate Werner, they didn't want to hear reason. They were full of accusations. He was guilty by association, and they showed no mercy. And right as they were going to kill him, Etienne steps in front of him, saying that he will take care of him. He will be responsible for him. The accuser starts saying that Werner's sentence is death, and we will carry out this sentence. This is like the adversary and the wages of sin demanding our death for all our wrongdoings and guilty conscience. Then Etienne yells and declares that Werner is good. Then one of the accusers say he is the enemy, step aside, but instead he turns to Werner and says, "You must be fearless. I am the professor. Now listen to me as you once did." This scene strongly emanates these verses. Romans 5:1, which says that we have been declared righteous, and Colossians 1:21, where it says, "You who once were alienated and hostile in mind, doing evil deeds, he has now reconciled in his body of flesh by his death, in order to present you holy and blameless and above reproach before him." And John 10:14 says, "I alone am the good shepherd, and I know those whose hearts are mine, for they recognize me and know me, just as my Father knows my heart, and I know my Father's heart. I am ready to give my life for my sheep."